Okay, I got sort of a neat little story to tell you about goose hunting when I was a really small boy. While I'm on the subject of cuts compensators, that guy right there on the end. When I was a boy, there was a family in our community that had a grandpa that lived in another state, and he would come down and visit them from time to time. And we lived in a really rural area of North Carolina, and we had a lot of waterfowl, and especially a lot of geese, Canadian geese. In the wintertime, they'd come in there and feed on the fields there and spend the winter. Well, he had this dream of, this old man I'm telling you about had this dream of killing a goose. So one evening he watched the geese coming into a field not too far away and kind of checked out how they were, where they were coming from and where they were landing. And so the next evening he was out there. He had an old 12 gauge pump, and I remember the gun because the gun stayed in the family's house then for all my growing up years, and it was an old 12 gauge pump. I don't think it was a Model 12. I don't know what it was for sure, but it had a cuts compensator. So this is how things impress you when you're young. I always thought that was cool because of this story. But he went out there and hid in one of the little drain ditches that was covered up with brush, and with his old 12 gauge pump, and pretty soon here come the geese. One of them come right over him. He shot it. It fell out in the field. He jumped up and run out there to get it, and he fell over dead with a heart attack. And that's where they found him. They found him and his gun and the goose. I thought that was about as nice a way to go out as there is. Finally enjoyed his dream, and then it was all over. He got what he was after. That's my story about the pump gun with the cuts compensator when I was a boy. I always liked that story because, I don't know, to me as a child it just seemed like a neat way to end.